Meghan Markle, stepping onto a red carpet on her own, always seems to spark conversation, and Saturday night was no different. Her appearance at the 15% Pledge fundraising gala was not just a fashion moment or a solo outing. It was a clear statement of purpose, confidence, and alignment with values she has consistently championed for years. Meghan arrived at Paramount Studios in Los Angeles looking radiant, calm, and completely at ease. There was no sense of absence or explanation needed for why Prince Harry was not beside her. Instead, the focus stayed exactly where it belonged, on the cause, on the community being celebrated, and on Meghan herself. This was one of her first public appearances of 2026, and she chose to step back into the spotlight in a way that felt intentional and deeply meaningful. The 15% Pledge is not a random charity gala. It is a powerful movement founded by Aurora James to address systemic inequality in business. The pledge encourages major retailers and corporations to commit at least 15% of their shelf space and partnerships to Black-owned businesses. Beyond visibility, the organization provides access to capital, mentorship, skills training, and real opportunities to partner with established companies. This is structural change, not surface-level activism. Meghan's presence at this event fits seamlessly into her long-standing advocacy. Long before royal titles, before palace walls, before global scrutiny, Meghan spoke openly about representation, opportunity, and economic empowerment. She has always understood that charity is important, but equity is transformative. Attending a gala that uplifts Black-owned businesses is not a photo opportunity for her. It is a reflection of her worldview. Her look for the evening quickly became a talking point, and for good reason. Meghan wore a striking gown, believed to be designed by Harbison Studio. The design was elegant, modern, and confident, much like Meghan herself. There was no excess, no attempt to overshadow the event. It was powerful without being loud, refined without being distant. Fans immediately took to social media to praise her appearance, with comments describing her as glowing and flawless. One fan wrote that Meghan had done it again, and that sentiment echoed across platforms. What stood out most was not just the dress or the styling, but the energy she carried. Meghan looked happy. Not performatively happy, not polished for cameras, but genuinely content. That kind of ease cannot be faked. It comes from being exactly where you want to be, doing something that matters to you. The red carpet was filled with notable names, including Emma Greda and Tina Knowles, who was being honoured at the gala. Tina Knowles, being celebrated at an event focused on Black-owned businesses, felt especially fitting. Her work as a businesswoman, mentor, and cultural figure aligns beautifully with the mission of the 15% Pledge. Meghan, being in that space alongside women like Tina Knowles, speaks volumes about the circles she chooses to stand in. Other celebrities such as Winnie Harlow and Olandria Carthen also attended, creating an atmosphere that felt celebratory rather than performative. This was not about hierarchy or spectacle. It was about community, recognition, and shared purpose. Meghan blended into this environment effortlessly, not as a former royal seeking relevance, but as a woman fully comfortable in spaces rooted in culture, creativity, and impact. Of course, some headlines quickly shifted focus to Prince Harry's absence, as if a woman attending an event on her own still requires explanation. In reality, there was something quietly powerful about this moment. Harry is believed to have stayed at their Montecito home with their children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. That detail tells a story of balance, partnership, and modern parenting. Harry and Meghan have always emphasized that they operate as a team, not as a single unit that must appear together at all times. Sometimes that means Harry is front and center, particularly with veterans and Invictus-related work. Sometimes that means Meghan steps out alone, especially when the cause aligns closely with her personal passions. This flexibility is not distance. It is mutual respect. There is something refreshing about seeing a high-profile couple normalize shared responsibility. One parent attends an evening event while the other stays home with the children. This is real life. It is modern family dynamics. It is equality in action. Rather than framing Harry's absence as a problem, it should be seen as evidence of a supportive partnership that allows both individuals to thrive. Meghan's appearance also marks an important moment as one of her first public engagements of 2026. Every time she steps back into public view after a quieter period, there is an undeniable level of anticipation. People watch closely, not because she demands attention, but because her choices often signal something larger. Where she goes, what she supports, and how she shows up all tell a story. This appearance felt like a gentle but confident re-entry. No speeches, no declarations, no attempts to dominate headlines, just presence, just alignment, just Meghan being Meghan. For supporters, it was a reminder of why they admire her. For critics, it quietly dismantled tired narratives. For years, Meghan has been accused of wanting attention, yet moments like this reveal the opposite. If attention were the goal, she could have chosen countless other events, louder stages, or more obvious publicity opportunities. Instead, she chose a fundraising gala dedicated to uplifting black entrepreneurs. That choice speaks louder than any interview ever could. Fashion has always been one of Meghan's soft power tools, and Saturday night was no exception. Her gown was not just admired for its beauty, but for its symbolism. Supporting designers who reflect diversity and innovation has long been part of her approach. It is another way she puts her values into practice without needing to say a word. Social media reactions reflected that appreciation. Fans praised her confidence, her glow, and her continued commitment to causes that matter. There was pride in those reactions, pride in seeing a woman who has endured intense scrutiny continue to rise, unbothered and focused. It is also important to acknowledge how comfortable Meghan now appears in these spaces compared to her time within the royal institution. There is a visible difference. The tension that once followed her seems to have lifted. She is no longer constrained by expectations that never truly fit her. In Los Angeles, at an event rooted in empowerment and celebration, she looks free. This does not mean she has abandoned her past or her connection to global issues. On the contrary, it feels like she has integrated every chapter of her life into a more complete version of herself. Actress, advocate, duchess, mother, philanthropist. These identities coexist rather than compete. Prince Harry's role in this moment should not be overlooked, even in his physical absence. The fact that Meghan can attend such events knowing her children are cared for by a present and supportive father is part of the bigger picture. Harry has consistently spoken about wanting to be the kind of parent he did not always have. Staying home with Archie and Lilibet while Meghan attends a gala is not a small thing. It is a continuation of that commitment. Together, Harry and Meghan are modelling a partnership that challenges outdated expectations. There is no hierarchy of whose work matters more. There is no insistence on constant togetherness for appearance's sake. There is trust, shared values, and mutual support. As 2026 unfolds, this appearance sets an interesting tone. It suggests a year where Meghan may selectively step into public spaces that align closely with her passions. It suggests continued balance between public engagement and private family life. It suggests confidence. The 15% Pledge Gala was not about royal drama or headlines. It was about celebrating black-owned businesses and honouring leaders who are actively reshaping economic landscapes. Meghan being there amplified that message. Her presence brought visibility, yes, but also legitimacy and solidarity. For fans, seeing Meghan praised, glowing and supported feels vindicating. For those who have followed her journey from the beginning, this moment is another reminder that she has always been exactly who she said she was. A woman committed to impact, representation, and change. As conversations continue online, it is worth returning to the core of this story. Meghan Markle attended a gala that celebrates black excellence. She did so confidently, independently, and joyfully. Her husband supported her by holding down the fort at home. Their children were cared for. A cause received attention and funding. That is not controversy. That is progress. Moments like this are not loud revolutions. They are quiet affirmations. Affirmations that Meghan is thriving, that her choices are deliberate, that her partnership with Harry is strong, and that stepping out alone does not mean standing alone. If this is how Meghan chooses to begin 2026 publicly, then it is a promising sign of a year grounded in purpose, balance, and authenticity. And for supporters watching closely, it feels less like a comeback and more like a continuation of a journey that was always meant to unfold this way.